Tough, rugged. The 2008 Toyota Yaris with over 320,000 kilometers of proven reliability. This is the ultimate road trip vehicle. And we are going on a road trip to beautiful British Columbia. Well, here we say goodbye to the construction in Northwest Calgary. We're leaving Calgary here, and it's brown. Everything's gray. It's winter. Looking forward to seeing that that nice change where the highways go green. Just driving past a spring bank. There's an airplane. There's your Petro Canada station, under renovations right now. Here we are at the peak of Scott Lake Hill, elevation 1,410 meters above sea level. It's over 4,000 feet. This is the highest point on the entire Trans-Canada Highway between here and Eastern Canada. That is a crazy cliff, and I cannot believe that Chris and I actually climbed that thing. It's a pretty crazy little cloud shooting up over the edge of Hart Mountain right there. Probably a fair bit of wind up there right now, just sort of forming that interesting cloud. Plenty of snow up in the mountains already. Wow. So over there, we're looking at Mount Lockheed. 4 days ago, my friend Chris and I, we attempted Mount Lockheed. We almost got blown off the mountain. Well, we're turning around because this is insane. I've literally, if you put your hands out during one of the gusts, it will lift you up these 45-degree hills. It's just walking. It's insane. So, did not come equipped for this much wind. It's been fun. We checked after our hike, and on Nikiska Ridge, it said the winds were 86 kilometers an hour, gusting to 120. There was one moment when I just put both my arms out to catch the wind as it was blasting up the slope, and I got a full 10 big steps where it like lifted my body up the mountain effortlessly. By far the windiest I've ever been on a mountain. And immediately after that, of course, I'm just on my hands and knees, clutching a rock, holding on for dear life. So yeah, we had to turn around before getting blown off that mountain. I love seeing everything out here right now because it's reminding me that just because it's winter doesn't mean that the year is over, you know? There's so much more cool stuff I can do all winter long. I just have to switch up my mindset and not get stuck indoors for the next 6 months. So I'm feeling good about that. The future is bright, folks. Parked at Harvey Heights, looking back at Canmore. And right here, we've got the Harvey Heights Springs. Water not tested for quality, aka free water. I love it. Something about it. It's great to see the sort of grassroots movements around this place where that's all done volunteer work, just getting that free, beautiful, untreated, and every time I've drank a ton of it, seems to be totally safe water. Yep. I'm excited about this trip, guys. I'm so excited. All right. So the Trans-Canada Highway is closed just east of Golden. And so there's a bit of a detour where I have to head down to Radium. Some beautiful views along that road. So there's always a little bit of icing on top of these things. Yeah, we'll get back to the road here and catch some views along the way. This is actually the first of many of these overpasses. And what you don't notice is that there's actually a ton of underpasses as well. And so on the side of the highway here, you can see that fence. That fence basically keeps wildlife off the road, so you don't have, well, you know, people getting killed as well as animals getting killed. You're in a national park here. And so if you just have a giant road with a fence all the way down the side, what you wind up doing is isolating the animal populations on each side. And especially with like the caribou herd that needs to migrate through, they don't have a way to do it. And so that's where they put all these underpasses and overpasses. And there's actually little webcams up there where they can sort of see how many animals are using it. They've got a few sort of scientific collection points where there's a bit of barbed wire where they'll, you know, catch some fur from an animal and they can do some analysis and stuff. And they're actually doing a really good job of keeping the wildlife corridors open, even though you have this main Trans-Canada Highway running through the national park, which I think is pretty cool. You can actually see the specific snow line on those mountains right there. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Woo! Up the pass and the snow begins. Snow now, so I no longer need windshield wipers. Welcome to winter, boys and girls. So we are at Numa Falls, and there's like literally unlimited places you could pull over on this trip. But this river, just like the clarity of the water year round is amazing. So let's go have a look at this. Nobody's here. How you doing, friend? You are a big bird. It's just ridiculously clear water. And by the looks of it, this water's really, really low this time of year. So I'm curious what the falls look like at this water level. The air smells nice. Good mix of that crisp mountain coolness with the humidity of this rainfall. It's a pretty cool spot. That pool looks like it's almost infinitely deep. And then it's still just like that super deep, super clear, and all the way down the canyon. Now what I think would be really cool, you're gonna have to see when this actually freezes over. But right there to do some free diving. Like that could easily be 20 plus feet deep, perfectly clear mountain stream. I don't know that it's a gold area, but it'd be a really cool place to get some underwater footage just of a dive. Looks like my raven friend is still here. How you doing there, buddy? You're a pretty big raven. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna go here. You have a nice day. You are an incredibly tame and beautiful bird. You know, eagles get all the credit for being super majestic, but just like the size of this bird, especially when you know just how intelligent they really are. And that creature is literally going to be living through a Canadian winter in the Rocky Mountains, and somehow it lives. Back into the adventure mobile. Rolling down the final hill into Radium. Got a car behind me now, so my hazards are off. Only doing about 45 kilometers an hour. A mist up in the hills, green forest everywhere. We're fully in BC, guys. Fully in BC. Just like that, welcome to Radium. Juniper, eh? Never been here? Let's check it out. "36 years on this earth, I've never seen this. I've driven to Radium so many times. It's always worth having time to pull over and check out a random trail." Onwards and upwards. Sinclair Falls, 200 meters. I can do 200 meters. I'm keeping my eyes open for sniping opportunities. Anytime you have a waterfall, there's potential bedrock. I mean, why not check this type of place out, right? Kind of came up this hill, and then you've got the highway right here. It's interesting, because I basically just smell brakes. Like, all those trucks coming down that hill. Oh yeah, that's some asbestos. Pickaxes and dynamite, 1911. Work started on the road through Sinclair Canyon. It's a long way down. So the whole creek just comes through that little culvert. And there you have it. Sinclair Canyon from this perspective. Time to hit the road. Under $2, not too bad. Luckily, this thing doesn't really use much gas. I just want to fuel up here while it's still daylight, and then I can definitely avoid fueling up in Revelstoke, where it's extra expensive. Sweet. Thing uses almost no gasoline. Love it. Not quite at Revelstoke yet, but well, we still have a tiny little bit of light. Figured I'd film this part explaining a bit about the camping tonight. I don't have much of a camping setup. Fun fact, the original name for my channel was going to be Ditch Life, because I was telling my friend Kent about my crazy adventures, and he's just like, dude, you slept in the ditch? I'm like, no, I mean, maybe a little, yeah, I guess I slept in the ditch. But you know, just you pull over by the side of the road and you come up with a pretty basic camp. So right now I'm in a 2008 Toyota Yaris, the ultimate road trip machine, of course. Ultra tough, ultra rugged. And I don't really have any room inside this vehicle to camp. I was thinking of maybe getting rid of the passenger seat, and then I could have like a cool little platform in here. Well, I didn't do that. So I grabbed a sleeping bag, and it's going to be questionably warm enough. It's a 20-year-old synthetic bag, claims to be a 3-season bag. I haven't used it by itself in a long time. I slept with it and another bag at -10 out on the Red Deer River jet boat camping, but I haven't actually slept in that bag by itself in a long time. So we'll see how close to zero it can actually keep me warm. And then on the other side of things, the tent setup. Well, I don't have a tent. I was thinking to myself in my infinite wisdom, it's raining, I don't want to put away a wet tent, so let's not sleep in a tent. And instead I just brought a tarp. So I have a little like 6-foot by 6-foot tarp. It's an old tent fly. I think it's fairly waterproof. And the plan is to just lay it on the ground, set my sleeping bag and sleeping pad on one side of it, and then fold it up on top of myself like a Tootsie Roll. And it'll kind of be like a bivy sack, but without a top or a bottom or a side. I have no idea how well that's going to work. So my target is that I'm about 5 hours and 45 minutes from Hope, BC. And I know that in Hope it's going to be raining like heavy. And then as you come up the Coquihalla highway, that's when all the rain hits, and then you can have a bit of a rain shadow on the side of Kamloops. Now the forecast says that both sides have rain. Kamloops has a little bit less rain. And so I'm thinking that maybe I can camp up near the top of the Coquihalla Pass, but then I'm probably dealing with colder temperatures than down in Hope. Whereas down in Hope, it's going to be like crazy rain. So do I want crazy rain or a little bit of rain, colder temperatures? We'll see. But that's the plan. And if everything works out beautifully, then right at the top of that Coquihalla Pass, there's some really nice areas where you could get a beautiful view of the stars if there's a little break in the clouds up there. Not really expecting that, but you never know. And that'll be the end of this video, is camping at the top of Coquihalla Pass. And then tomorrow I head down and actually get to meet up with Andy from ANDYTHRAXX Mining. So that'll be pretty cool for next week's video. I gotta say, I'm enjoying the adventure, I'm enjoying the uncertainty of this whole situation, but I'm slightly concerned about basically getting zero sleep tonight, because I'm going to be basically wrapped up in a tarp by the side of the road in a sleeping bag that isn't warm enough, getting rained on. Welcome to Golden. It's about 6 p.m. Calgary time. Looks like I'm going to be driving in the dark for a fair bit of this trip. First snow tunnel of the trip. That is a very well lit tunnel. Holy! top of Rogers Pass. A little bit of snow on the ground. Highway's just wet. What's that saying? Limited visibility, dense fog. I'm just like giddy to figure out how camping's going. There's your golden arches and an A&W. I'm gonna say heck no to that. We're heading into town. Get ourselves some real food before this crazy camping shenanigans happens. A lot of good memories in this town. Actually, the Taco Club, are we open? No, we're closed. Okay. A lot is closed here. Let's see, how about Village Idiot is open. Excellent. Village Idiot it is. Oh, those beautiful colors. Turns out it's Halloween. The place was pretty packed. Back to the road. Well, goodbye, Revelstoke. Here we are crossing the mighty Columbia River. I think this river has roughly twice the water of the Fraser River, which we will be seeing later. It's a big river. But yeah, don't know if I'll make a pit stop in Kamloops for gas or not, because it looks like I've got plenty of gas left, but I think it's basically straight to the peak of the Coquihalla. Welcome to Kamloops. We're looking at 10:59 p.m. Alberta time. That's what I'm used to. So it's actually just about 10 o'clock here in BC. And I'm probably about half hour away from where I'm gonna be trying to spend the night. Heading up the Coquihalla now. I can feel my ears popping. I checked the GPS back in town and I was at 470 meters above sea level. I'm already over 700. I'm curious what elevation I'll be camping at tonight up at the top of the pass. Oh wow, you can see that hill there. Just 3 lanes of perfect highway straight up into the clouds. This is gonna be cool. I believe that's the last lighting for a while. Here on out, oh yeah. Darkness, other than of course, my headlights. Oh my. Just like on those TV shows. Whole new world up here. There's your hyperdrive engaged. See if we can find ourselves a nice ditch in which to spend the night. But I'm just going to drive along, get a little feel for the place prior to making myself a campsite. And if I travel down this road just a short distance, it'll take me right away from that highway, so I get true peace and quiet rather than hearing all those trucks driving by all night. I obviously have to realize I'm in a Toyota Yaris with small little wheels. So we'll not get ourselves into any trouble out here. I think it's just about time to check that GPS again. I'd like to believe that I'm alone out here. I would have completely forgotten which one of these roads I came in on. Luckily my tire tracks are on the one on the left, so I'll have to remember to go there. Let's have a quick look around here. I'm getting snowed on, but I can see stars. It's probably just below zero, possibly a little bit above zero, but you know, the snow's not melting immediately when it comes down. I'm gonna have a quick peek around, just see what's over that rock berm, make sure there's no deliverance things going on, and yeah, it's time to set up camp for the night. And I'll probably just camp on the ground right here with the car kind of between me and the road in, and I will have my bear spray with me because I'm just going to be laying flat out on the ground like a delicious treat. This is cougar country after all. Step one is a sleeping pad. We're going to set out this tarp on the ground as our ground sheet. So this is just an old tent fly. Next step, down goes the sleeping pad itself, like so. I guess I could point the headlights at what I'm doing to be a better YouTuber or have some actual production lights, but I film with a cell phone, and considering that's a cell phone and it's pitch black out here, I'd say we're doing pretty good. Mountain Equipment Co-op, at least 20 years old. I think when I was like 15, this was probably a hand-me-down from my brother. So there is our sleeping bag for the night. And since it happens to be snowing, which might turn into rain, you never know, all we do is we take our ground sheet and we fold it over ourselves. Now the bottom isn't necessarily closed. I could put a few little rocks along here just to keep that down. But now, that's an inviting little place to sleep. Let's have a look at what we've accomplished here. This is our little Tootsie Roll. I can get a jacket rolled up just as my pillow there, and then zip myself up into the sleeping bag, and then I just toss that loosely over my head and cover me up with snow. Now all that remains is, since this is my my lifeline right here, my car, I've got the old bear spray. That's going to be coming with me. And we've got ourselves a campsite. So we're currently 1,300 and change meters above sea level. So Scott Lake Hill back in Calgary was 1,410. So roughly the same elevation. But when we started down in Kamloops, I was at like 450. So now we're at 1,350. So almost a kilometer vertical up from where we were. You can tell it's a little colder. There's snow coming down instead of rain. This is going to be a cool place to camp though, because as soon as I turn off my car, which I might as well do, you know, let's replicate the real ambiance here. Now one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put up my window, make sure I don't lose my keys here. Lights off, headlights off. I do have a booster pack for this thing just in case, but let's not tempt fate. And one final thing over here somewhere. There it is. This is the last of that spring water where we started our journey. So full circle. Let's cheers to that. The vitality giving natural spring water of Harvey Heights by Canmore, Alberta has been brought to wherever the heck this is. Keys in hand, car is unlocked so I can hop in a jiffy so you can get tucked in for the night. It's a simple matter opening up that. These keys are going to go in the breast pocket here where I won't be sleeping on them, but they're on me, not to be lost. And the car is going to remain this door unlocked. Next up, I have a seat. Might as well take the shoes off, and since I'm so close to the car, I can just toss those right under the car. If there was any signs of wind, I would put some rocks down around this little tarp setup. There you go. I have a very lightweight summer sleeping bag and a very large and heavy winter sleeping bag. This is the Goldilocks. We'll see how warm it really is. This is an old MSR Hubba Hubba tent fly that my dad gave me when his tent sort of disintegrated after too much use. So, hobo camping, hand me down, and all I really need to do, put this over my head, air spray in reach, and good night everybody. See you in the morning. So as the sky cleared, I was able to get this shot, couple pictures. Bear in mind this was taken with a cell phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. 30-second exposure from a tripod using the S Pen to trigger the shutter. ISO 400. Pretty happy with how some of these turned out, but obviously still learning the whole astrophotography thing. To my eyes, the Milky Way just lights up, and this wound up being just an absolute beautiful place to camp and spend the night. Well, time to do a little POV of waking up, I guess. Ugh. See, if it wasn't for that light to film myself, there's clear skies right now. You can see all the stars. Ugh. So yeah, here's what I see. Here's my sleeping bag. I can't say it was a terrible sleep. Here's my tent. I say that with obvious quotation marks. So you can see the tarp has a little snow on top, and between the tarp and the sleeping bag, it's like it's sort of glued to it with frost. So that is just the condensation from me sleeping hitting this, lying directly on top and not being a breathable fabric. I was actually warm enough. It was, you know, touch and go. And I can definitely say that having the tarp directly covering your face, there's a fair bit of condensation that formed. So this is not a cold weather and especially not winter camping solution. But hey, better than no tarp at all. Get this thing heating up. Love a car that starts. Oh, love it. Some lights on. And yeah, let's give this thing a quick shake down, get all the snow off of it, and just layer into the car. Kind of excited to just crank that heat and get back on the highway. Well, I guess this is one of those times when the video is probably long enough. This was part one, Calgary to top of the Coquihalla Pass. Yeah, so part two, gonna meet up with Andy of ANDYTHRAXX Mining. That'll be a pretty cool little highlight of the road trip, I'd say. Until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers.